It's the day after, and no grandma is safe when it comes to the 19 team. We'll tell you exactly what we mean as we catch up with the big winner from Sunday. That would be one Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe, welcome to the day after. How many times did the Twins wake you up last night?
Actually, they slept all through the night. I didn't go to bed till like 4:30. I went back and watched the race, but normally they would wake up around 3 or something, and they never woke up. So yeah, they were out. Our little girl, she slept until 9:30 this morning. So yeah, she was sleeping good.
They are literally the cutest
I
things
appreciate
I
it.
have ever seen. I mean, I have twins, and I love my boys. They weren't that cute.
I appreciate it.
Yours are so sweet. I love the pictures. More, more, more. What were you looking for specifically in the race, or was it just one of those things like you just wanted to see how it all played out?
Yeah, I think for us was just trying to get the lead, especially. I mean, everywhere we go, it seems like in the Cup Series, right? You always hear clean air and just getting clean
Yeah.
air, but certainly at Pocono, you can just dictate so much if you're in the lead. So for us, we truthfully got a little bit lucky just with how the caution came out and was able to kind of cycle to the lead. And then once we got the lead, our car was obviously really good and was able to hold it. So yeah, we tried throwing it away, or I tried throwing it away by going early into the pit box. But fortunately, it worked out for us, and we were able to hold on.
So, what were you looking for when you went back and watched it till 4 a.m.? Like, what were some of the things that you wanted to identify?
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I just can never sleep after a
Yeah.
race. So yeah, I just wanted to go back and watch it. And I was curious too, just to see kind of what it looked like from outside, right? Like I knew from my perspective, how close I thought Denny was, and going back and watching it, I did not realize how close, second through fifth really was. I thought it was just kind of me and Denny, and Blaney was a little bit farther back, but it was kind of eye opening just how close all of us were there for a little while.
Are you glad you didn't know how close they were?
I mean, it wouldn't really change what I was
Yeah.
doing, but it definitely. And even on TV, like Denny was way closer than what it looked like he was, in my mirror, right? Like I kind of have a different just perception of it. But when I went back and watched it, I was like, man, he was way closer a lot of the time than I realized he was.
Yeah, and our straight talk, straight stat, you just mentioned it right now. Last pit on lap 119 for 11.020 seconds. And you were told that you were short on fuel. On that restart, you've got Blaney, who's behind you, 2 wins at Pocono. Hamlin behind you, 7 wins at Pocono. You had never led a lap at this
Yeah.
racetrack before this past weekend, and your best finish was 15th. And you were really honest after the race, just about like how you had never really kind of executed that way. Is that kind of what you meant?
Yeah, for sure. Just as a race team, like we just have not truthfully put a race together from start to finish. Every race we've had this year, we've had speed. We just have had a bad pit stop or a restart or just a random penalty on pit road. Like we just have not put a full day together. And yesterday was still sloppy at times. But we never had like those major issues, right? Like we might lose a couple spots, but it was never lose 10, 15 spots on pit road. And it just kept us in the ball game all day long. So yeah, for us, it was nice to, I think as a team kind of prove to ourselves, look, like if we just execute and do our normal thing, like we're going to be in the mix. We might not win all of them, but we're at least be up there and in contention. And, yesterday, truthfully, just everything went our way. There's been a lot of races where, in my career, things have not gone that way. So it was nice to be on the other side of it.
So James Small, I mean, listen, I love James. I think he's edgy. He's, says it how it is. And he did. Because after the race, and I know you were in the media center when he said it, he was talking about you. He said where he came from, there wasn't much accountability. And he said nobody was holding his feet to the fire. That's probably been a big wake-up call for him. What does that accountability look like at Joe Gibbs Racing?
Yeah, I mean, just the expectation is so much higher, right? So there's way more accountability. There's, and nothing against Tony or Gene, but, they were obviously pretty disconnected from SHR. So you never
Yeah.
really had that, boss figure where coach is in every meeting on Monday. He's at the racetrack every single weekend. So just from that standpoint, I feel like there's already a little bit more accountability. But then certainly, I've had crew chiefs in the past that have held me accountable, but it's just different because there was never really the expectation to go win every week. Where here, the expectation is you're gonna be battling for wins. Where I think when you have that expectation, the accountability and just the stakes are so much higher. And James certainly is, like you said, he's very fiery, right? So he does a really good job, I feel like, of, pushing me and making sure that I'm doing all the things I need to be doing because, like, we're at the top level of, North American motorsports. And, you can't be slacking. The field is so tight that every little detail matters. And, James and the entire 19 team do a really good job, I feel like, of, preparing me to the best of my ability every week.
We're going to kill our grandma to win the race.
Who said that?
That's what James said.
That
He
James said
said
that?
that. Yeah, he did. He said that's probably a little different than what you're used to. I mean, you don't look like the grandma fighting type, Chase. I mean,
Yeah,
is
I
that
definitely
fire?
don't. I definitely don't want to do anything to my grandma. I mean, I like to win, but I love my grandma a little more than winning a race. But yeah, James is definitely fiery, for sure. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, it was cool though to see, honestly, in victory lane, and even after the race, James kind of let loose a little bit and have some fun. That's something that James doesn't do a whole lot of. He's very, very intense and just competitive all the time. So it was fun to see that side of him for sure.
I love it. So you got accountability when you walk into the walls of Joe Gibbs Racing, but you also have accountability when you walk home, right? Because you mentioned your wife many times and how she was like, "You better win,
Yeah.
dude," because like I know I was sitting with someone and they said, "Do you really think like he would lose his job after 1 year?" But you mentioned that, right? I mean, you mentioned kind of that pressure that you're feeling.
Yeah, I just feel like, you can't hide if you're a Joe Gibbs Racing. Like, there's zero excuse, especially when your teammates are winning, two, three
That's right.
races already. Like, there's really no excuse. Like, if you come here and you don't win, it's not like you can point the finger at something else, because clearly what they have here is fast and works. So yeah, I felt like when I came over here, it was really the career maker for me, right? It was either going to go really, really good, or it's probably going to be the end of my career, because if you can't win at JGR, then why would any other team even hire you? So, yeah,
Wow.
it was definitely a huge thing of pressure for me to just try to win a race, right? But, I don't want to just stop at one. I want to keep going. But certainly, it's a huge sigh of relief. I feel like, literally a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. But hopefully we can just continue to build on this now.
Yeah, how do you not let that affect your confidence and allow you to not remember who you are and what you do when you do have sort of that tug that you gotta get it done?
Yeah, I truthfully, I love pressure. I feel like I perform better under pressure. But I will say, being here, it is a different kind of pressure, because the expectation is so much different. Where in the past, in SHR, there was always pressure, but it was just different. Like, I honestly don't even know how to explain it. It's just so much different when you're going to the racetrack every week with a team that expects to win versus a team that's just hoping to run top 10. So yeah, I mean, you definitely feel pressure both ways, right? But now more than ever, people expect you to win when you're driving one of these cars. Where that, I feel like, just that expectation really changes the feeling of the scenario.
Yeah, not only win, right? Compete for championships and win
For sure.
championships.
Yeah.
This is Joe Gibbs Racing is not a team that just wants to win races. They want to get to the championship four and they want to win a title every single year. And that's what is expected. I love that pressure for you. The pressure also to get it right when you are short fuel. By the way, how short were you? After I
A
want to
lot.
ask you also,
Yeah.
what was it?
A lot.
A lot. Did what like when you get it back, like how much was left in the car? Do you know any of that?
It ran out as I was pulling into victory lane. Now, granted, I did do a burnout, but yeah, I literally pulled into victory lane. And it shut off as I was turning into victory lane.
Woo.
But yeah, I know that I was quite a bit short. I heard on TV they say I was 9 laps short. I don't know if that's right or not, but I know that we took about 3 seconds less of fuel than the rest of the field, and we already had less in our tank before that. So yeah, it was definitely short. I knew I was in trouble whenever I came off pit road, and Denny was literally like coming off turn three as I was going into turn one. And then the caution came out, and James had some explicit words for me, that I
not
screwed up.
not crikey, right? It was
Yeah,
something else, right?
yeah, there's definitely some other words in there about how screwed we are. So yeah, I knew I was in trouble. And I honestly, when I came off pit road, I saw how big of a gap I already had, and I just instantly started saving fuel without them even saying anything, because I knew that this race always seems like comes down to fuel mileage, or even if a green, white, checkered or whatever, you're going to need the fuel. So yeah, I just started instantly saving, and that could have been the difference, just those 2 or 3 laps. And then obviously we had that one caution that really helped us. Yeah, it was wild that we were able to hang on for sure.
How do you save? I listen. I've heard the answer many times, but when I'm sitting with people who maybe aren't necessarily all in every single weekend and cover the sport the way I do, how do you save? Like, obviously, when I'm driving down the highway, I can turn off my air condition, roll down my windows, kind of, not gas it as much, make
Yeah.
sure I don't break. But inside those cup cars, what's the process? And this is kind of the first time that you've really been in a serious situation to have to do so.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I've had to save fuel under caution and stuff, but never in a situation where I'm leading the race and trying to hold on to it. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways. When I came off pit road, what I would do is I would, run wide open off the corner. And then once I would get halfway down the straightaway, I would just go to literally like half throttle and just try to run that the entire length of the straightaway. And then they said, hey, if you keep doing that, we're going to run out anyways. So then I just started lifting.
Right.
I'm talking hundreds of feet earlier into the corner. And instead of driving into the corner and using brake, I would just lift super, super early and just never touch the brake pedal. And then I would, shift earlier from fourth to fifth. And then at one point in the race, I was literally just trying to shut the motor off. I would go into the corner, I'd shut the motor off and just not even have the ignition
In
on.
the middle of the race, shutting the motor off.
Yeah, I would go into the corner and I would lift and I would shut the motor off. And then as I would get down into the corner where I would need to like go back to the gas, I'd flip the motor back on. So yeah, there's a lot going on in your fuel saving for sure.
When you flip it back on, are you like, please go back on? Is there like that split second where you're like, maybe it won't?
Yeah. I mean, I knew I had fuel at that point, but it is hard when you turn the ignition off because your power steering goes out, everything goes out. So it's kind of challenging. And I started running slower when I was doing it just because I was trying to look at my gauges and I was trying to find the switch and everything else. So I ended up just going back to lifting early. Just because I felt like if I was going to keep shutting the motor off, I was probably going to lose the lead anyways.
That's a lot going on. Meanwhile, you've got good old Denny Hamlin
Yeah.
right behind you at Pocono. Was Brooks waiting for you when you got home?
He was out. I mean, absolutely out.
Oh, did you wake him up? Did you wake
No,
him up?
I asked him before. I called him and I said, "Hey, buddy, do you want me to wake you up?" And he said, "No, I just want to sleep." I said, "Okay,
Aw.
I won't wake you up then." But this morning he came and they went and bought balloons and all kinds of stuff. And
Aw.
he came in and woke me up and was so excited. And then I brought the checkered flag home for him, so he was waving
Aw.
and going all crazy. So yeah, it was neat for sure this morning.
Okay, before I let you go, the in-season challenge, and you are battled with Noah Gregson.
Yeah.
What do you like? What are you? I'm excited because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be with TNT for the next 5 weeks, so I'll be at the racetrack, and I just think it's a really cool thing. They do it in the NBA, obviously, and it brings a lot of attention and excitement. But your thoughts about starting that and specifically going up against your bud Noah?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a great thing for us. It's kind of a weird part of the season, right? Where it's not the very end of the regular season. It's kind of the dog days of summer in a sense, and for us to be able to have something for the next 4 or 5 weeks to kind of have a storyline around, I think will be really, really good. Yeah, it's going to be fun going up against Noah. Me and Noah golf almost every weekend together. My son's favorite driver is Noah, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so Noah texted me after, and he sent me the picture of the bracket. He goes, "Oh no!" I told him I was coming for him. So yeah, it'll be fun. He told me since I made the playoffs, he's just going to wreck me anyways. That way he can have a shot. So yeah, we'll see how
Nice.
next week goes.
Maybe wait till yeah. I don't know if Atlanta's a place that you want to do that. So will Brooks be wearing a Noah Gregson shirt this weekend since it's his
Oh no,
favorite driver?
he doesn't have a Noah shirt, but I mean he loves some Noah. Every time we go and see Noah sugars him up and gives him anything he wants. So yeah, he definitely loves hanging out with Noah.
Who doesn't love Noah,
Yeah.
especially a young child?
Yeah.
All right, before I let you go, I am also a twin mom, as you know.
Yeah.
So I did a little trivia with Matt Ryan one time right before he had twins. Of course, former quarterback for the
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons. And so I have a similar kind of trivia for you.
All right.
Do you know how many diapers a twin dad changes in the first month? I'll give you choices: 300, 600, or 900.
I'll go with 300.
600. Can you believe that's a
That's
lot?
a lot.
I didn't know that. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a
600.
lot.
All right. So here's a trivia question. Baby A. Which one's Baby A, by the way?
Well, for us, we thought that was the girl, and then it ended up being the boy. But
The
maybe
boy.
A is the one that's lower, correct?
I don't know. We just identified, I think, in utero which one was Baby A, which one was
Yeah,
Baby B.
I know ours we thought was going to be one way, and then they came out another way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Baby A wakes up at 3:00 in the morning.
All right.
What do you do? What do you do with Baby B? Do you let the baby sleep, wake the baby up, or let your wife take care of it?
Well, we definitely were on the page of trying to get them on the same schedule.
You got it.
But now they kind of just do. They sleep almost all through the night. So if one of them wakes up, we just let the other one sleep.
Well, I hope it stays that way for you because I find like when they go, like, listen, it's a twins are a whole nother world, and I'm sure that you have said many times, like I did, at least it's not triplets.
Yeah, for sure. On that. I cannot even. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Well, listen, you're one of my favorites. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to see what you have for the rest of the year.
I appreciate it.
And certainly against Noah as we start
Yeah,
this
heck
in
yeah.
season challenge. And listen, enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's definitely gonna
Your
be.
day. Like I said, just a kid from Mitchell, Indiana, who's now won a race for two of his heroes as he was young. He mentioned after the race that he used to wear a Home Depot shirt, watch the races, and of course got it done for Tony Stewart when he was at Stewart Haas Racing, and now getting it done for Joe Gibbs. So that's got to be such a cool day to watch that banner hang up when you're sitting around guys like Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, and Christopher Bell. So excited to see what he has for the rest of the season. Excited for this as well, because best day ever is going to go to Ross Chastain. When I saw this hit the wires, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So the 8th generation watermelon farmer, who also, of course, won the Coca-Cola 600, came from the back to the front. He was at the Pentagon and he was smashing watermelons, among other things. So we'll get to that in a second. So he was able to talk to some servicemen and didn't know this, but Ross's grandfather and a great uncle served in the military. Also on his mother's side, his great grandfather was in World War II. So that is so great. He was able to talk to some servicemen, talk about his work ethic, what he gained from growing up, watching his family work the farms and the watermelon farms, and of course, share his stories about his family being in the military as a daughter of a Marine, a granddaughter of both Army veterans. Both my grandfathers were Army veterans. My mom was in the Navy. I think that was probably a really cool visit for Ross Chastain. Also, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Yes, they were smashing watermelons. I mean, why not, right? So the defense secretary has his entire family out there. They get to smash watermelons with Ross Chastain, of course, his signature move. The defense secretary was, of course, at the Coca-Cola 600, and so called him. Maybe that was Ross Chastain's good luck charm. We'll see. We'll see if we can get him at another race. Maybe Ross will win. This weekend, we're headed to Atlanta. Oh, super fast. And it's going to be super fun because the in-season tournament begins. So we'll see you there. TNT getting back into the sport after being out of it for so long and really excited to be part of that coverage and excited to see all of you guys out at the racetrack. If you see me out there, please make sure you say hello. Let's take a picture and we'll get it on Best Day Ever. Have a great week, everybody.